Okay, I'm here with Miss Rae, and Rae is a rescue dog. How old is Rae again?
1.
1-year-old rescue dog, and she's a little bit reactive to other dogs. Now we're out on her little patio, and you can hear she's a little bit worked up. A couple dogs that pass by. Now what she likes to do is bark at the dogs. Now the problem with this is when she hears them and comes out here and barks at them, the dogs appear to leave. And the way that Rae sees this is when I bark at them, I make them leave. And I see them leave, so I know my barking works, this reinforces the behavior and makes her more likely to do it. So what I've got here are some very high value treats. Rae's decided to potty on the rug, but the rug's probably seen better days. All right, Rae. Now we went over this inside. We went over cookie in the corner, but basically we also went over a find it cue and with cookie in the corner. So basically what it is, I've got a treat here. So I'm just gonna say find it. Yes. Come. Yes. Find it. Yes. Yes. Come. So what I'm doing is I'm just saying find it, and then I throw the treats. I'm throwing them away from the street. Now there's a dog here. Rae, find it. Yes. Rae, find it. Yes. Rae, find it. Yes. That's a big doodle. Find it. So what I'm doing is I'm distracting her. The doodle is right there right now. Hello. Find it. Yes. Find it. Yes. Sit. Yes. Doodle's right there. Normally, she'd be barking at that dog, right? What we helped her do is we distracted her a little bit. Now, there's also something, and so this is a game. Now, if we only come out and do this when dogs are walking by, then she's going to be agitated. Yes, I just explained that. And so that's what this game is going to represent. So what we want to do is we want to come out here when there's no dogs. Find it. Find it. Make sure she sees you, toss it. Find it. And so what you're going to do is you're going to say find it. As you throw it, find it. You're going to say yes when she looks up, yes, and then you can say come, which is why I showed you in here. Now, there's an orientation in the game that we also use with dogs, which, can you see Rae for this one?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say find it. I'm going to wait for Rae to look at me and say find it, throw it away. Yes, find it. I'm marking her looking at me. Yes, find it. That was a quick look. Yes, find it. Yes. Hey. Now she can hear those sounds. We're going to talk about those in a sec. Rae, find it. The dog's right there, and it's actually looks like a Senji, a pretty active dog. Find it. What am I doing? I'm practicing having her move away from here when she hears the sound. Now you saw, yes, I'm using the pause interrupter. Now I'm getting a little sloppy. So you should say find it each time before you throw it. And then if you're gonna do the orientation game, and I would do this again with her out here. So have your stuff moved away, and then you throw the treat, find it. I'm watching her as soon as she looks at me. Yes, find it. So I'm marking for the look, and then I'm throwing another one there. So in the house, we went through the cookie in the corner, which is having dog practice coming to you. And this one, let's keep the dog over there and just throw the treat. You look at me, and I throw another treat over there. And she can't see the other dogs from over there. Now, the other thing we talked about is putting some bamboo reed matting on the other side of this, which is going to block her visual view, which is going to make this a little bit easier to practice. Now, there's also something called the engage-disengage game. And I'm not going to go through all the elements of it, but eventually what we want to do, well, I guess before we do that, my other method, what I would do is, you heard that jingling sound. So what I would do, my neighbors and people walking by might think you're a little bit of a weirdo. Get your phone out, and when dogs walk by that have a jingly sound, hey, my dog likes to bark and sounds that jingle. Would you mind if I recorded the audio of your dog's holler? Can you just have your dog shake her, ding, 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 ding? What you could do then is you would play it, ding, 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 at such a low volume that she doesn't react. Now, we want her ears to perk up and be aware of it, but this is the dog that literally walks down your street every day. So let's counter condition and desensitize her to that sound. That sound now doesn't mean that a dog's walking by. That sound means that I'm about to get a treat. So we play it on our phone at low enough volume where she hears it but is not reacting to it, and the actual dog is not present. We can do it inside the bedroom, away from this area. Gradually, though, we start raising the volume. You might do it 5 times in a row before you raise it to the next level up. And eventually it sounds like the dog is walking through your living room and she's just looking calm and looking around to get a treat. So that way we're kind of systematically doing this. Now, you'll let some people that maybe you don't want to ask them, just get your own phone and just put it on record and just walk behind them and recording a little bit of it. You'll have the footsteps, but that's also something she hears. So now we can help her practice and take away that element. It's kind of like peeling a layer of an onion. We're going to take a layer of this layer, and we're going to take this one. And if you try to tackle them all at once, it's just overwhelming. The dog just squirts to whatever is easiest. So we're going to systematically help her. We're going to desensitize and counter condition with the sounds. We're going to have you practice, find it. Yes, moving away from here. We're going to have you practice staying away from here. Every time you look at me, I throw another treat. Now, she's a little girl, and this is LA. You got to be thin. I'm not built for LA. So you might use her kibble for this if she really likes her kibble. And there's a gentleman walking, but there's no dog. Find it. And so, does she mostly bark at dogs or people too?
Mostly dogs.
Mostly dogs. And so, but people walk dogs, and so that's why when she sees a person, she's expecting to see that dog. So that Bamboo Reed matting will really help with this quite a bit, but also you practicing out here. Now, the engage-disengage game is something I would do when I get to the point where, hey, I know that dog lives right across the street. Hey, go, find it. Find it. And now this is more of like a redirect. We're trying to prevent her from getting over, but look at her, and you can follow her next time I throw it. Hey, right, find it. Find it. After you do this more often, there might be a treat around here or residual smells of treats, and so she lingers and she smells like she is right there. Not a big linger, but it was enough for your neighbor to walk up the street a little bit, and now the dog is over there and she's not barking. Look where she went. She went back over there to look at it. We're basically building a behavior pattern of going away from the fence. Right now, her behavior pattern is to run here. Now, once you can get to the point where she can hear the dogs and doesn't react to them, and you've done this pretty well, I would exercise it like we talked about inside. Then I would bring her out here, and the engage-disengage game, I'll do it right here. So the dog is right there. We'll wait for her to see it. Yes. 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 Now that all but the last one, when the dog was the closest, she was turning away. Right. Yes. So what I want her to do is look at the dog. Yes. So I'm saying yes for looking at the dog, and that causes her to look away from the dog, and then she gets a treat. And if it gets to be too much, like now, find it, throw one, just roll her to the other end of the deck, and then you can play that orientation game every time she looks at you. And she's practiced at doing this, so she's going to sit there and look at you instead of running back here. And then that dog passes away, or passes by. We don't want any dog to pass away. But the dog passes by, and then she runs back over here. Oh, false alarm. And so the idea is, again, we're creating positives instead of negatives. So a lot of times we're out here, stop it. You know, the guardians here don't do that, but a lot of people yell at their dog or punch their dog or correct their dog for doing that. And the dog just gets more and more frustrated because, yeah, my humans agree. They don't like you there either. They're always yelling at me when you're here. They don't yell at me the rest of the time. Dogs don't understand that association. So, find it. And you saw that, how quickly she was going there. She was enjoying this. This is a fun game. One of the things, there's an Australian company, they call it gamify your training. So everything, try to make it into a fun game so your dog likes to do it. Yes, that was outstanding. That's operant conditioning right there. That's unrelated to what we're doing. But if she does look away from the dog, say your marker word and reward that. If she walks away here on her own without you playing the game or doing anything, mark that and reward it. The time that we, there's one right here. Find it. Find it. Now this dog is, don't go on the roof. There you go. Now the dog is literally right there. Ray, find it. Dog's now at the corner. So I'm guessing these are diminishing responses compared to how you normally react. This is the very first time we've ever done this. When you've out here practicing doing over here when there's no dogs around, it's gonna become much, much easier. Then you block the visuals, you counter condition, all that stuff works in a cumulative fashion. All right, let's sign off because this is gonna be a little bit of a long video. This is my buddy Ray, and these are some tips and tricks you can use if your dog likes to bark at people who pass by your house and you live in Santa Monica. Ray.